The regular show cartoon is known for its iconic characters, each providing a unique personality with both positive and negative traits. Hey guys, it's Sindris, and today we're ranking each regular show character in under 1 minute, and we're going to rank them from F to S tier, F being the worst and S being the absolute best of the best. To kick off the video, we are obviously going to have to start with one of the main characters of the show, Mordecai. Mordecai is one half of the popular cartoon duo, and throughout the show he has always been the level-headed one between the two. He tries to be rational when he is able, but still decides to have some fun whenever the opportunity arises. He still manages to complete some of the duties he is required to do, but still tends to slack off. Mordecai is also very empathetic and cares for people. Whether they are close to him or complete strangers, he will always have a hearing heart. But the downside of his character though is his involvement with girls. For the majority of the show, Mordecai is trying to win over Margaret, but shies away most of the time. And when he does end up going out with her, Margaret tells him that she got accepted into college and isn't able to date him anymore, which leaves Mordecai in an extremely sad state until he meets CJ. Over time they get to know each other better and begin to date, until Mordecai cheats on her. Overall, Mordecai is a very fun and chill character, but is always tripping over himself when it comes to his personal feelings, and for this I will have to put Mordecai at A tier. The next character is one of the many reasons regular show gained so much popularity, and it's Rigby. Rigby is the second half of the dynamic duo and is one of the laziest park workers in the crew, and almost never completes a job. He procrastinates every day and is always looking to have some fun while on the job, often getting Mordecai in a lot of trouble as well. Due to his goofy nature and behavior, Rigby is almost never taken seriously and is even neglected at times, which might explain some of his behavior. Nonetheless, he still cares for his friends and is seen to have their back whenever they have an issue. And throughout the show, we get to see Rigby grow up, and he starts to prioritize things that are important to him, such as his relationship with Eileen and graduating high school. The goals he set for himself and achieved show his level of maturity and determination. Rigby, who was once known as an emotional man-child, was now seen as a loyal character who believes in himself and his friends. And due to his development alone, Rigby is an easy S tier for me. Next up, we have the boss of the park, Benson. Benson is a major hothead, lacking a lot of patience and control over his emotions. Now of course, it isn't always his fault as to why he's getting upset, as it's more often than not Mordecai and Rigby who are intentionally or unintentionally making him angry. And no matter how frustrated he gets, he still decides to give him many chances. But the times he isn't mad, he's actually a very cool boss and good person. He treats his workers with respect and honesty when they are doing their job, and even treats them at times. He's also not afraid to admit when he is wrong and even apologizes to his employees. He defends them and saves them when he is able and looks out for them in more ways than one. Overall, Benson is a really honest and good boss who just wants respect. So for Benson, I will have to also place him at S tier. Next up, we have arguably the best worker in the park, and that is Skips. Skips is a very calm and prideful person who almost never loses his composure. He is very wise and always offers his opinions on important issues regardless of what it is. Skips has been working at the park for many years and has picked up a habit of always taking care of everything. He's also seen as a solution to most problems. Whether it's fixing or building certain parts, he tends to take responsibility for every job. Other than this, Skips is a really nice person, often showing his appreciation and love for others and even pointing out when someone is out of line. He always goes the extra mile for his friends, always defending them and looking after them, and also letting a lot of things slide while on the job. And although he is a very cool boss, he still has an adventurous and wild side to him, never backing down from anything and never afraid to get his hands dirty. Overall, Skips doesn't have a lot of flaws and is a character that nearly everyone enjoys, so I'll also place him at S tier. The next character we're going to talk about is Muscle Man. Muscle Man is an odd character that ends up growing on you the more you watch the show. At first he was extremely obnoxious and annoying, especially towards Mordecai and Rigby. His short temper and destructive capabilities often risked the safety of anyone that was near him, including his friends and park visitors. He is a constant joker and prankster who gets carried away at times, which tends to get on a lot of people's nerves. Apart from this, he's actually an efficient groundskeeper who actually stays on top of his duties and responsibilities. And when he is not working, he spends a lot of time with his friends, who he is very loyal to. He can get along with anyone in the park and is always honest and upfront to the people he cares about, and this includes Starla. Muscle Man is much better to Starla than Mordecai ever was to anyone else. He defends her at all times, listens to her, and most importantly, he remains loyal for the entire show. Although an odd character for sure, Muscle Man has some really good traits and is a very enjoyable character, so A tier. But you can't think of Muscle Man without also thinking about his right hand man, High Five Ghost. Fives is a character who is often forgotten due to his screen time and dialogue. He is the quietest character in the park crew and almost never talked in the early episodes of the show, and the times he did talk was to support Muscle Man and his actions. But regardless of his dialogue, he doesn't cause any major issues for his friends or bosses, often following the lead of his best friend and sticking by his side no matter what, even saving Muscle Man a couple of times throughout his life, always showing loyalty to his closest friend. But with that said, there isn't anything that is truly unique about Fives that makes him stand out like the other characters, as he is mostly there as a supporting character for Muscle Man, and for these reasons, I'm gonna have to place him at B tier. Next up, we have the happiest character on the list, Pops. Pops is a very childish and friendly character who is often oblivious of certain issues, but he always tries to be positive in every situation he is in, even if the odds are against him. He is nice to everyone around him, friend or foe, and he truly means well. He cares about everyone, no matter what the species, and is always looking out for others. Throughout the show, Pops has helped many of the park members control themselves and their temper, and also boost their mood when they are feeling down. And although he isn't the best park worker, he is always there for his friends and is willing to do anything for them, even sacrificing himself to save everyone. Pops is a really great character with a good head on his shoulders, and it would be disrespectful of me to put him anything below S tier. Now the last and final character of the show we're going to talk about is Thomas, or Nikolai. Now at first, Thomas seemed just like an ordinary college student who did his work. He was an average guy with a sense of humor and the need to prove himself. But other than this, he was sort of dismissed, often left in the background and under the radar. But that's until we find out that he's actually a secret agent from Russia, and his mission was to steal the park. But he didn't go through with his mission because he didn't want to betray his friends, which shows his compassion and empathy for the people who were once strangers to him, but accepted him into their group without hesitation. And he knew the risk that would come through with his decision, but still followed through regardless. Thomas went from zero to hero in a matter of moments because of the friends he holds close to him. So to complete the tier list, I will place Thomas at the bottom of A tier. Now don't get me wrong, just because some characters are lower than others doesn't mean they aren't good characters. I really do enjoy the regular show cast, but I do think some characters are better written than others. But please let me know what you think. Do you think some characters deserve higher rankings, or did I mess up the entire list? Let me know in the comments below. Well guys, it looks like that'll be it for today. Please make sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you would like to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.